I guess we'll do a webcam today. I guess I got connected still. I guess I can do that real quick. Technical difficulties. This is just like a test stream. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Okay, cool. Alright, that's all the advertising I gotta do. Once we unlock both areas, we can teleport between them. And I'm lost. to the unforgiving sands we go. Yes, I'd like to go to Araeng.
Araeng. From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath, Araeng once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder. He told me Araeng meant majestic land in the language of his people. And so it might still be, were it not for the light's unrelenting onslaught.
Yes, I pull out my ether compass. Once we get to the help point. Ugh, no matter how many times I come here, the cold never fails to catch me off guard. The sky be as bright as in the scorching hours of day, but it gets brisk enough to make you shiver. Now, the Exarch's letter said I was to take you to the inn at Journey's Head, which is where Alice, a friend of yours, is staying. But that's a fair old distance. So I propose we make a stop in Morsuk to break up the trek, allowing me to attend to some business and you to enjoy the local hospitality. Sound good? Good. Alright, you lot, I'm off and I better not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Right. We head southwest, straight as an arrow. Actually, southwest. Yep, that's the one that I forgot the first time. Well, bring it on, little Willow. Stop here a moment. This is your first visit to Araeng, is it not? Before you cross the river of sand, you need to turn around and feast your eyes on that. They built them big, didn't they? That's Quasar Sharl, a fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Nabath Araeng. Seeing what was left behind, I believe it when they say that it was once one of Norvant's mightiest nations. At least until the flood came along. Great chunks of Nabath Araeng's lands were lost to the light, its great city included. The few who survived didn't see much point in staying. Most of them, anyway. No, not many choose to come here these days, not with everything in ruins. Even that hulking great fortress has become a little more than an Amara roost for me and my caravan. But not everywhere is as deserted as this place. Just wait until you see Mord Sook. Let's press on, shall we? There's one up here. Oh yeah. Here we are, Mord Sook. By the Blessed Shadow, I love this town. Mord Sook, not just full of Mord, but Humes and all manner of others too. It has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the floods, so the population is nothing if not diverse. Oh, have you met a Mord before? They might look like shifty little blighters, but a more welcoming lot you could never wish to meet. Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Master Gengen. I'll go ahead and let him know we've arrived. See, that's one of Dragoon's newest. Handsome looking devil. Oh. She looks really good with purple eyes.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you about.
Very good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Mord Sook.
Sook is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Araeng. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too, many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Araeng by choice, but Mord Sook's a different story. Merchants come from realms around to purchase the relics the Mord dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Mord do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our souk is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps a Maud philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed. Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals. And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the good Maud says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer? I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny. Over here!
Come and look.
Wait.
Enough of that! Calm, I say! This one must still journey through the barrels. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots. Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
What if I don't... I'm sorry, are those moving? I thought they were moving for a second. Welcome to Ronron's, traveler. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time, stare, and sniff before you choose, but no drooling on the merchandise, yes? That's my ever-burning bounty, made with the best parts of the lizard, cured with special spicy spices. Some find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up on chilly desert nights. I call that mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keep you going in the heart and in the heat. Everyone's favorite, plump white worms slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed wriggler, you'll never want any other treat. Oh, you like those? Chewy skewers. Find small frogs hiding under rocks. Spear with a stick, then roast over fire. Crackly on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking. They all look tasty, yes? Which to choose? Which to choose? Yes, put some spice in your step. You won't feel the cold this night. Probably not the next one either. Oh dear God, what did I do? You have the gold. And done. One Verbertite honor buys you 10 slices of lizard meat. What an appetite! What a belly! A new legend is born in Morsuk. Consider your coin purse cracked. I am pleased to accept your custom, and Gengen will be pleased that you honored ours. Keeping the merchandise down, yes? No returns. I was watching from here, Sinan. You honored our custom and with great relish. You will always be welcomed in Morsuk. If you need anything in Araeng, we are here to provide. Yes, do you have my first Ether current quest? You do not. You. I'll take those. I think I need an upgrade. Yep. Yeah, you have courage, my friend. Ronron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the bellyache you'll have on the morrow. Right. Now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Morsuk. Oh, offering your services, are you? Aye, well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up from the market. All properly paid for. You just need to do the lifting and carrying. I'll go and take care of some last minute haggling then. See you in a bit. Okay. So we need table cactus, thon, iron ore, toll, and all right. Nothing over there. Nothing over there. Nothing over there. There's Thon. You came with Cassard, yes? Good, good. I can finally stop thinking about that sack. Please take your prickly purchase. Hey, no touching. The merchandise is spoken for. You can possibly change my mind with a better offer. What, Cassard sent you? Why did you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a higher bidder. Oh, no. Araeng relics, wasn't it? All packed in that box there, handled with care. Okay. What is my last one? Toll. Okay. Toll might be not here. Checking back here, probably not. Don't think there is nothing. There's that ether current for the level 77 part of the story. Nope, not there. Ah, there you are. Cassard sent you, did he? Right, yes. What kind of ore was it again? Iron ore. Iron ore, of course. That would explain this box I have here. It's all yours. Don't tell me you've been around the entire market already. Aye, that's a lot, alright. Good work. And quick work too, considering you've not set foot in the place before. I thought you wanted to sit in the city like the Exarch, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. No, that I am not. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all of my business before your return, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Cassard, it feels like an age since I last saw you. Tesleen. Well, if it isn't the lovely Tesleen. It has been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. This lady was on her way to meet with Alice. I'm supposed to be taking her to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. Alice has told me so much about you. You're Sinon, aren't you? I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Tesleen. I work as a carer at the inn, and I've got to know Alice quite well since she took up guard duties there. Do you want me to take over as Sinon's guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it would be no trouble. That would be a great help, thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Araeng, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium. first. Actually, this might be a cool looking glamour. Let's remove the shirt. Oh yeah, I like that. That's good. Alright, be right back. Gonna go get a drink and we'll resume. Let's say we got one ether current quest to do, so we'll do that. So be right back. Greetings, friend. You like helping people, yes? Well, maybe you can help me too. You see, my son, Goon makes me very proud, but very worried. He works very hard, too hard for his own good. He follows orders, yes. Follows them until someone tells him to stop. This is very dangerous, bad for his health. I need you to speak to him, persuade him to rest. He should be near the Red Shirai, probably leaving no stone unturned in his search for relics. Please tell him his father orders him to stop. That one is not what we want. Search the nooks, search the cranny, search high, search low. Oh, sorry, I did not see you there. Are you lost? Father says I must rest? That will not do. No, no, no. I will stop, but not yet. I need something to show for my efforts. All this scrabbling, all this searching, and still no shinies. You came here to tell me to stop. But if I refuse, your job will not be finished, will it? That will not do either. Wait, I have an idea. If you help me find shinies, my job will be over, your job will be over, and I can rest. Simple, yes? Look under that rubble and find whatever there is to be found. Maybe it will be valuable, maybe not. Either way, let us keep searching until we get at least one shiny. What did you find? No more rubble, I hope. Oh, this looks very special. Such pretty patterns. I have never seen one like this before. But how much is it worth? I am an expert in finding shinies, not a historian. Perhaps we should ask someone. Once we sell it, we will divide the profits between us. We worked as a team, so half for you, half for me. Fair is fair. Yep, talk to you later. You gave me what I wanted? By the way, are there 2 ether currents over here? There's not. Alice has been desperate to see you, Sinan, so let's get you to her sooner rather than later. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see it from the top of the rock spires from here. We just need to swing around the ridge, then head south. Come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. All set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. While most of them leave you be if you keep your distance, the local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may have loaded myself down with too many bargains today. Do you think you can handle any beast that tried to make a meal of us? I thought you might. Alice was always saying how much let's get going, shall we? Sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. And yet hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alisaie was strong, but in her mind she was never... Now it makes sense. Ahem. Well, we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. Oh, thank goodness you're back. I could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork and know how to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. Up on the ridge, maybe? Ah, yeah, right there. That's 3. This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. It seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow, but first, let's head inside, shall we? Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alisaie arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers. You don't know? I don't think I met anyone besides Alisaie who was so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have LSA give you the full explanation. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out to the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind, in case she comes back while you're gone. Citrus Jaws is one of my hunt marks. Oh, there it is. And that is 4. Alizé is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints on the ground, and they look to be about the right size. Oh, hang on. Holy shit, that's a huge hunt train. Oh my god, holy shit.
Get back here! Is that... It can't be.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner. How are you? We fought them to a standstill, then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Araeng were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Uriel's vision. He may use 10 words where 1 would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the Flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the First tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the Flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether, and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct, that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
Deep. It's just a matter of time, more for some, less for others. The patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Tesleen and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you, while he helped me finish my patrol, of course. I guess I do need to upgrade that too. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, and you clear the west. That way you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your maps are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after your ether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around out there, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting. Alrighty. I guess we can do that. Easy. How did you fare? I thought there might be one or two lurking in the fringes, Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually, these lesser sin eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat. Much like the void scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful sin eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic ideal behind my patrols, to cull their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play, and you certainly helped on that front. Let's report our victories to Tesleen, shall we? Alright. LSA tells me you helped out on her patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. It's normal for me. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You had no idea how badly LSA has missed your company. I think as always, if Sinan were here, she would... That's an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Sinan's methods. Honestly, after seeing her in action, I can understand why. The way she leaps into the fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. I'm only teasing, though I've no doubt she deserves all the admiration she gets, just as you do. I love Tesleen. No ether fan quests yet. I love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. There seems to be 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alize? What, and to whittle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Surely there's something we can help you with. I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You can start by helping me sort out the larder, Alize. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I meant to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Pawneel, Todden, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of a response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new. Thank you. Todden glances up at you blankly, but you notice the tension in his face ease slightly. Halric remains very still as you wipe the sand from his cheek. The texture of his skin has hardened to something akin to plaster. You've seen the patients. How were they? Good. That's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I am concerned about Halric, though. I'll have to speak with the other carers, but I think his time may be near. We shall leave you to have that discussion then. I was going to take Sinan to Morsuk if you have any errands there that need doing. Well, I suppose there is one thing. Would you pick up a nectarine from the markets, please? Tsar's caravan just passed through, so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Sinan. There's something I want you to see, right after we stop at Ron's stall, of course. I'm lazy. Oopsies. Oh, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ron's wares? Actually, we were looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Oh yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one, free of charge. Gods, I've never seen a Morin merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh yes, I'll take a jar of honey worms as well. Oh no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. Ahem, the worms, if you please. Only the best regulars for you. Come again, my friends. Right, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past Aetheryte to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top. Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not? Glaze, Wigglers, you actually brought them. I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, alright? Only once. Never fails, shall we?
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond?
The empty.
That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought, it's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the Eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals.
Ooh, that's harsh, Alisaie.
I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Urianger's lecturing. And I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectaring will be kindness. It isn't just a threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their wards and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. Again, I'm too lazy. Just gonna teleport right back. Be right back, guys. I'm gonna grab a... Actually, hang on. Let's finish this quest first. You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? Yes. Thank you. Alisaie's explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others and we decided to keep an eye on Hallrick for now. Thanks to you though, if his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. How do we know that his days were actually happy? Go with your current quest. Alright, be right back. Alright, we're back. Well, nothing is going to happen for a little while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you think? Take a seat and I'll make us a nice stew.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs. That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot.
Uh-huh.
In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
Sinat, Alizé, we have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's got into him, but he's wandering out there alone. Well, assigned church areas and split up. Any idea where he might be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before. But it can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. In any case, let's keep the church close to the inn. Halric isn't very sure on his feet, so he won't have gone far. I'll search the east side. Please, Halric, please be alright. I'll cover the north and west end. You take everything from here to the south. You see no sign of Halric. Maybe he went further west. You scanning your surroundings in search of Halric, and suddenly find yourself under attack.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will. Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it! There it is! Is that... Oh no! Halric! We have to run!
Nope.
Tessie! No!
Water creeps me out. Ah, but this is what Eris must have felt like.
We all deserve happiness. Wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
Nightmare fuel. This still hurts. Don't worry, Tessie. I'll take care of you in a level. I promise. Oh God, it still hurts. God, it still fucking just tears your heart out. And I've already beaten this game. But that part still hurts so much. So, 30 minutes to about 2 hours into the game, it just punches you right in your gut. You know, just seems like, yeah, this ain't gonna be your typical Final Fantasy game. That's all I have to say. Let's continue. I'm sorry, Sinon. I tried to tell the carers what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they lean on. Not like this. I feel you, Alze. I feel you. It's just so unfair. Testing was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people to suffer such a fate. Don't worry, I got it covered. But I got one more zone to do, and then I have a dungeon to unlock. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us, so I appreciate what you're doing here. Me, I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial. And she cared about that sort of thing, about giving people a chance to say their goodbyes. I know, man. I know. Holric is as unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring up into the sky, where the Sineators made their escape. Holric creeps me out, but I think he's going to be very pivotal in the story, in the MSQ patches. Still no ether current. Over here? How about over here? Oh wait, hang on. And that one for hoods. Oh, it's not voice acted. Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to me, to them, to me. Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Holric. You weren't hurt at all, were you? That's not a very wise choice of words, Wilford. Hurt? There wasn't even a fight. I was too late, too slow, and I thought I could protect you. You can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Holric back safe and sound, and no one could have done any more. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing my role here. I hope you will forgive me for leaving you, and that you will delay Holric's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do. Of course, she would have done the same. Farewell, Ulrich. Keep Tesling's words close to your heart. Wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is a bit hasty. Do you even have anywhere to go? I have a destination in mind, yes, and a purpose. This damned light, building without cease. It's the reason we can't save these corrupted by those corrupted by the Eaters. But what if we corrected the balance, even if it were only little by little? Even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light, but how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the Eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I have gained here to hurt them. Can I eat these chips yet? Yes. Forgive me, Sinan. I couldn't stay there a moment longer. But I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the inn battle against this blight with kindness, I must fight it in my own way, with steel. Miss Elize, is there anything I can get you? You're swift as tomorrow. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. Ugh. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Araeng again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin-Eaters out. Shall we? Yes, we can talk. on the floor. One second. Thank you for seeking me out, Sinan. It meant a lot to have you there at my side. I was tempted to set off again the moment we had decided upon a direction. But you have still to visit Alphanude, yes, haven't you? If I know my brother, he'll be on the cusp of discovering something vital to our success. If he hasn't already. I'm content to stay here and consider our options for the time being. But don't keep me waiting too long, eh? Alright, and that's where we're going to go ahead and end the stream. See who I can host. I gotta physically end it.